The renowned architect Takeo Sato was involved in the design of the Hokkaido Museum building. The founding father of architectural acoustics, Sato discovered in 1926 that a phenomenon called flutter echo occurs in Yakushido Temple in Nikko Toshogu Shrine. Dragon figures in the ceiling create the illusion of a dragon's roar when worshippers clap their hands. Sato figured out that this is caused by the sound reflecting off chambers in the ceiling and indentations on the floor, creating the flutter echo. A sculpture named Flutter stands at the main entrance of Hokkaido Museum. Clap your hands in front of it, and the sound will echo off the walls on either side. This sound play is like a greeting to you. It's almost like the sound of cranes' wings flapping in the air. Perhaps Sato was thinking of our ancestors who lived here in Hokkaido and wishing us a future in which we can soar. Perhaps this sculpture is his gift to us. Located in an area known as Nopporo and surrounded by forest, the Hokkaido Museum is a beautiful red brick building with an appearance similar to the former Hokkaido government office building in downtown Sapporo. And so its nickname is Mori no Charenga, or a brick building in the forest. This linking of the two buildings was done with the aim of capturing an element of Hokkaido pride, so as to be shared locally and globally. The Hokkaido Museum building is considered the culmination of architect Takeo Sato's career. In 1899, Sato's father, a soldier, was transferred from Takeo's birthplace of Nagoya to Hokkaido's central city of Asahikawa. There, he spent part of his junior high school years. Many of his works are public buildings that have become icons of their regions, including Okuma Auditorium at Waseda University, where acoustics were considered from the very beginning of the design stage, and the Asahikawa City Office Building, which won an AIJ prize from the Architectural Institute of Japan. In the master plan for Nopporo Forest Park, the position of the Hokkaido Museum relative to the other facilities was not coincidental. Takeo Sato imagined that the stretch of road from National Highway Route 12 to the entrance of the park and the Centennial Memorial Tower formed the base of an equilateral triangle, and thereby positioned the center of the museum at the peak of that triangle. The imaginary line from the center to the Centennial Memorial Tower is the axis of the museum, connecting it to the tower and ensuring a good view of one building from the other, and vice versa. When the historical village of Hokkaido was opened in April 1983, the designers applied the same placement technique so that each building offered a good view of the other two. A square brick building with a connection to the land. When Takeo Sato received a design request from the governor of Hokkaido, he immediately decided that large quantities of bricks would be used, and that the building would be a simple, square shape. In an environment like the forest, there is no need for complicated shapes. The use of bricks that are a product of the local climate is an act of harmony with nature. The row of ultra-slim pillars is in contrast to the brick structure that houses the museum's contents. These are not just a symbolic decoration to emphasize the axis. They soften the imposing bricks and make people feel a pull to the museum. The brick walls look as if they have no support columns at all. The short-span ceiling sub-beams showcase the structural dynamism. Notice the details in the brickwork and the chandelier in the grand hall, which embellishes the vertical lines of the tall brick wall. With illusions at every turn and a wonderful range of ornamental details, this is truly a pinnacle in architectural design. Within this space, we can begin to comprehend the feeling that Takeo Sato brought to the design. A major element that makes this building even more special is the way art pieces made in collaboration with fine artists are interspersed throughout the building, including a sculpture, a giant tapestry, and marble mosaic tiles that are integrated with the building's design. The Memorial Hall was designed to be a symbolic feature of the museum. Horseshoes of all sizes are hammered into the large wood and brick wall on the north side. These memorialize and acknowledge the work of the horses, which played a vital role in the industries and lifestyle of Hokkaido's citizens. The iron grille, designed with unique Hokkaido motifs, is a major element as well. By looking at the inside and outside of the building, you see a fusion between architecture and fine arts. And that harmonious fusion of architecture and art is surrounded by the abundant nature of Hokkaido, telling a very special story of this area's history and climate. The romanticism of architect Takeo Sato can be seen in every corner of the Hokkaido Museum building. Sato himself said as much. The Hokkaido Museum has followed Hokkaido's story since it was opened in 1971. It has watched over transformational periods that drastically altered society and waits with anticipation to see where we are headed in the future. No matter how much times change, this square brick building connected to the land and the isms that Takeo Sato infused in it seems to be expressing the same aspiration: to watch over Hokkaido as its future unfolds.